Hello, our Lives channel. Today we will learn about an exciting new development that's set to shake up Salem in spectacular fashion. The arrival of Liam Selejko, portrayed by the talented Hank Northrup, and the brewing romantic rivalry that's about to unfold between him and Theo Carver over the captivating Ariana Horton. Both young men are clearly drawn to Ari's magnetic charm and independent spirit, setting the stage for a classic love triangle that promises tension, drama, and plenty of unexpected twists as these two very different suitors compete for her attention. The legacy connection. Hank Northrup carries an extraordinary legacy on his shoulders as he steps into the world of Salem. His father, the legendary Wayne Northrup, immortalized the role of Roman Brady from 1981 to 1991, becoming one of the most beloved characters in Days of Our Lives history. Wayne later returned to portray the enigmatic Dr. Alex North from 2005 to 2006, cementing his place in soap opera royalty. Tragically, Wayne passed away in late November 2024 after a courageous battle with early-onset Alzheimer's disease, which he had been diagnosed with 6 years prior. His death came just as his son was preparing to carry the Northrup name into a new generation of Salem storytelling, creating a poignant and emotional connection for longtime fans who remember Wayne's remarkable contributions to the show. The timing of Hank's casting was nothing short of magical and deeply meaningful. He received the life-changing phone call on January 9, 2025, his birthday, informing him that he had booked the role on Days of Our Lives. The actor immediately broke down in tears, overwhelmed by the significance of following in his father's footsteps during such a difficult time. Hank is the son of Wayne and Lynn Herring, who is still actively portraying the vivacious Lucy Coe on General Hospital, making him true soap opera royalty. His debut, scheduled for Wednesday, October 29th, marks not just the introduction of a new character, but the continuation of a family legacy that spans decades of daytime television. Enter Liam Selejko. Liam Selejko bursts onto the Salem scene with a complicated past and an uncertain future that immediately captures attention. His introduction comes through the literacy program established by the gracious Julie Williams at her newly opened bookstore, a community initiative designed to help adults improve their reading skills and transform their lives. Abe Carver, having recently passed his certification to become a literacy mentor, finds himself assigned to his very first student, and it's none other than Liam, a young man who has just been arrested for the serious crime of stealing a car. This criminal activity has landed Liam in a mandatory rehabilitation program, where tutoring sessions with Abe become a non-negotiable requirement for his path toward redemption and a second chance at a productive life. What makes this mentorship particularly complicated and emotionally charged is the shocking revelation that emerges during their early interactions. Liam Selejko isn't just some random troubled youth who happened to cross Abe's path. He's the same person who mercilessly tormented Abe's beloved son, Theo Carver, throughout their years together at Salem High School. Theo painfully recalls how Liam and his gang of bullies would wait for him by his locker, relentlessly calling him degrading names, pushing him around, and making his teenage years a living nightmare from 7th grade onward. For Theo, who is on the autism spectrum and already faced unique challenges navigating the social complexities of adolescence, Liam's cruel treatment left deep emotional scars that haven't fully healed. Despite this disturbing history, Abe maintains a compassionate perspective that speaks to his character's fundamental belief in rehabilitation and human potential. He learned that Liam's parents were incarcerated throughout most of his childhood, leaving the young boy to grow up in a broken system that failed him at every turn. Abe firmly believes that Liam was set up for failure by circumstances beyond his control and deserves the opportunity to break free from the cycle of dysfunction and criminality that has defined his life thus far. This philosophical stance about second chances creates immediate and intense conflict with Theo, who cannot understand how his father can extend kindness and mentorship to the very person who made his high school experience so traumatic. The father-son divide. The tension between Abe and Theo escalates dramatically as Abe commits himself fully to Liam's rehabilitation journey. Theo feels betrayed and deeply hurt that his father would prioritize helping his former tormentor over acknowledging the pain that Liam inflicted on him. When Theo discovers that Abe has confirmed tutoring sessions with Liam and is actively mentoring him, the wounds of the past come rushing back with devastating emotional force. Meanwhile, Abe expresses his own frustrations, complaining that Theo is keeping secrets from him and creating distance in their relationship. Theo admits that talking to his father has become increasingly difficult, especially when they fundamentally disagree about whether Liam deserves this level of support and forgiveness. Hank Northrup himself has described Liam's character arc as genuinely transformative, promising viewers that they'll witness real growth and evolution as the storyline progresses. He teased that his character will experience personal development and even enjoy a little fun along the way, though he cryptically added that Theo might not appreciate the particular kind of fun that Liam brings to Salem. This intriguing comment hints at complications that extend beyond their troubled history and suggests that their rivalry might expand into new territory that creates even more friction between the former bully and his victim. The romantic competition begins. Here's where the situation becomes even more deliciously complicated and dramatically charged. Both Liam and Theo find themselves powerfully attracted to the same young woman, Ariana Horton, the college student daughter of the fiery Gabi Hernandez. Ari, who goes by her nickname affectionately, has recently been spotted in Horton Square enjoying what appeared to be a flirtatious coffee date with Theo, where the chemistry between them was undeniable and the attraction clearly mutual. Theo was noticeably charming and attentive, and Ari responded with genuine interest, her own attraction to the mature, successful businessman evident in every glance and smile they exchanged. But Theo won't be the only suitor vying for Ari's affections and attention. Liam will also begin flirting with the captivating young woman, creating a romantic triangle that brings their rivalry to a whole new level of intensity. Both young men will be pursuing the same prize, and Ari herself has demonstrated that she has very particular tastes when it comes to romantic partners. She's an 18-year-old college student who has consistently shown a preference for more mature men rather than boys her own age, gravitating toward partners who possess confidence, life experience, and a certain edge that younger suitors simply cannot provide. Ari's romantic history supports this pattern of attraction to older, more complex men. She previously showed interest in Doug Williams III, despite the significant age difference and the considerable drama that relationship brought into her life, including a terrifying kidnapping situation that finally ended that connection. While Doug ultimately wasn't the right choice for her, tangled up in shoddiness and unable to move past his feelings for Holly Jonas, the experience confirmed that Ari isn't interested in the teenage goofballs in her immediate age range, like Aaron Green, who seems interested in her but fails to capture her attention. She wants someone with substance, maturity, and the kind of presence that only comes with living through real experiences. Gabi's disapproval and protective instincts. Complicating matters significantly is the reality that Gabi Hernandez absolutely will not approve of either potential suitor pursuing her precious daughter. Gabi has a well-established history of scrutinizing and objecting to Ari's romantic choices, particularly when those choices involve men she considers dangerous, inappropriate, or unsuitable in any way. She's a fiercely protective mother who doesn't hesitate to voice her concerns and attempt to influence her daughter's decisions, even though Ari is now legally an adult perfectly capable of making her own choices about her love life. When it comes to Theo specifically, Gabi already harbors deep reservations and mistrust. She doesn't trust him primarily because of his connections to the DiMera family empire, that powerful and often dangerous dynasty that has caused so much chaos and heartbreak in Salem over the years. Additionally, Gabi may harbor prejudices related to Theo being on the autism spectrum, potentially underestimating his intelligence, capabilities, and suitability as a romantic partner for her daughter, despite his impressive accomplishments and current position of authority. There's also lingering resentment from the fact that Theo was hired as CEO of DiMera Enterprises, a position that Gabi herself desperately wanted and believed was promised to her before Tony DiMera gave it to Theo instead. As for Liam, his criminal record alone makes him completely unacceptable in Gabi's eyes. A young man who was recently arrested for car theft and is currently in a rehabilitation program hardly fits the profile of the respectable, stable partner Gabi envisions for her daughter. His troubled past, his history of bullying behavior, and his ongoing struggles with literacy and legal troubles create a resume that no protective mother would enthusiastically embrace. However, And this is where the classic soap opera tension becomes irresistible. Gabi's strong opposition to both suitors might actually backfire spectacularly. Ari has demonstrated a rebellious streak and a determination to make her own decisions without her mother's interference. The more Gabi pushes against these relationships and attempts to control her daughter's romantic choices, the more attractive these forbidden romances might become to Ari. There's nothing quite like parental disapproval to make a relationship seem more exciting, dangerous, and worth pursuing, especially for a young woman determined to assert her independence and prove she can handle her own life. What this means for Salem. The arrival of Liam Selejko and the developing love triangle creates multiple layers of conflict that will ripple through Salem in the coming weeks and months. The Carver family faces internal strife as Abe and Theo navigate their philosophical differences about redemption, forgiveness, and whether someone who caused such deep pain deserves a second chance. The mentorship between Abe and Liam will test both men, Abe's commitment to his principles and Liam's genuine desire for transformation and a better life. The romantic competition adds explosive potential to an already volatile situation. How will Theo react when he discovers that Liam, his childhood bully, his father's controversial mentee, and someone he explicitly warned Abe against helping, is now pursuing the same woman he's interested in? Will this rivalry bring out the worst in both men, or will it somehow become a catalyst for Liam to prove he's genuinely changed and for Theo to find a path toward forgiveness? And at the center of it all stands Ariana Horton, a young woman with her own agency, preferences, and desires who refuses to let anyone, including her well-meaning but overbearing mother, dictate her romantic destiny. Her choice between these two very different suitors, each with their own complicated baggage and connection to her life, promises to create waves that extend far beyond a simple love story. Hank Northrup asked fans to give his character time and patience as his story unfolds, hinting that first impressions might not tell the complete story. He suggested that viewers keep an open mind about Liam, who may be genuinely misunderstood and capable of real change despite his troubled history. Whether that transformation happens, and whether it's enough to overcome the pain of the past and win over both the Carver family and potentially Ariana Horton's heart, remains to be seen as this compelling new chapter in Salem's ongoing saga begins to unfold.